So today I would like to talk about urban design, specifically in Italy, that involves new urbanism and also advocating for green spaces. So, getting started, I would like to talk about the wave of new urbanism that happened in the late 1970s. Its influence is actually pretty local. If we look to Perkins Row, which you can see here, it was definitely built with a new urbanist mentality. Actually, extended from Perkins Row is Willow Grove, which is a new urbanist take on traditional neighborhood development. As we look to Italy, here we see an award-winning new urbanist project called the L'Infante di Matilde, which is a future resort in Emilia-Romagna. And what makes all these places a product of new urbanism is their walkability, transportation, mixed land use, and focus on community. In terms of walkability, new urbanists believe that you should be able to walk across the community in 5 minutes or less. Looking to Venice, we see a full extent of a walkable city. It's known for being able to walk across it in an hour. New urbanists also lean towards limited road transportation. Venice's main transportation is either by foot or using canals. The third characteristic of new urbanism is diverse land use. This includes diversifying buildings according to style, size, price, and function. An example of this can be seen in the City of the Sun project in Rome. It's comprised of residential areas, offices, city parks, and other uses for public spaces. Because different places are used at different times, spaces aren't too crowded but never abandoned. Lastly, the focus on community creates a high-density city. Italian urban planner Paolo Soleri created an experimental microcity called Acrosanti in Arizona. The project experiments with organic architecture, the inclusion of natural lighting, falling water, and greenery in a multi-level community. A focus on community also emphasizes the importance of parks and piazzas. Here we see Parco della Cascine, one of the largest recreational parks in Florence. As for piazzas, here is Piazza Maggiore in Bologna. It's centrally located in the community using mixed land use and human-scale designs. It also has interesting spaces like the Fountain of Neptune, which serves as a sitting area. Since people tend to sit in places that are clean and comfortable, it creates a more sociable space. There's also valid critiques of new urbanism. The most reasonable one questions privacy, especially in dense areas like this one in Rome. Part of my response to that critique is even in rural places like small towns in Campania, there's sometimes no privacy anyway because of the culture and how invested communities are in each other's lives. Communities also bond better when green spaces are incorporated. Green spaces like Giardino di Boboli cause an increase in the public's happiness, relaxation, and restoration. It also encourages people to respect the environment by being pleasing to the eye, which acts as a calming agent that directly affects human behavior. In older zones in Bari, green spaces are very limited and unkempt. As a reflection, Bari inhabitants do not consider their green spaces safe, as they have noted to have syringes, different types of harassment, and inferior facilities. Evidence behind green spaces benefiting the environment is vast. It creates a cooling effect by reducing air pollution. One of the results proved that green spaces in more rural areas take up to 80% of GHG emissions. Plants like orchards, olive trees, and grapevines are the biggest contributors. A study done on Bari also endorses urban green space development. In the results, residents rated themselves as having a lower quality of life than most other municipalities in Italy. Bari was chosen because it is the second most city that has the least area for green spaces in Italy.